This, that. Part in there. If y'all, look, how many of y'all juice? And this is the one. It costs hundreds of dollars, but this one right here, this the one I'm trying to tell you. Take this part, pop it, and do this. Boom, boom, boom. There's a guy at my the co-op. He's from New York. He'd be like, bang bang, bang bang, bang bang. Okay. So that's what we talking about, bang bang. Let me get you. Yeah. See, look, you gonna see dishes. I gotta clean those dishes. Don't judge me. Like I said, my kids were on cleaning duty last night. Okay. Boom. Boom. This is going to catch the juice. This is going to catch the pulp. See that? Okay, so first I'm going to do cucumbers. Normally, if I had a bunch of time, I would peel the cucumbers. I ain't got all the time today. This is for my watermelon. This is my almond milk juicer right here. Citrus juicer. And you see how I could just throw stuff in there and walk away? That's why I love this juicer. Because I literally throw stuff in there, boom, 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 and then watch this. It gives me my juice. Stop it for a second to put more stuff in there. Look, more cucumbers. Good morning. Good morning, Big Rob. I saw you live yesterday. Or I saw some of it. It was good. It was good to listen to your story. And then look, I just throw it in there. Fast because I gotta get to the office. Oh, you're welcome. You're going live later on the TT because I know you can't say the other platforms' names when you're on one platform. I'm learning. Okay, watch this. So you see, I just threw it in there. Look. Look how much juice so far, right? That's why I love this juicer. Yes, I paid hundreds of dollars. That's okay. All right, next, celery. Celery. Celery is really, really good for the nervous system. These natural salts, I do have to break it a little bit because Let me clean this. That's onions. I have to break them a little bit because they're a little too big to go in here. But that's, look, easy, 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 easy. Put your juicer, put your stuff in here. Boom, boom, walk away. Okay, so I'm about to put on, I'm a part of a 21-day juice cleanse. So the lady is talking about detoxing right now. So I'm going to listen to that a little bit while I'm juicing and cleaning up. You guys can listen with me, okay?
Virus, anything I usually use oregano oil and flaxseed oil. These two work incredibly well together. This is a very, very detox specialist, and we go into the depths, and these are the 4 pillars of what we cover in the deep get on with your life and do things. As in, if you was to do a 21-day water fast, and I think I have shared this story for a good friend of mine, Addis, who did a 21-day water fast, and by day 21 he'd eliminated parasites, he'd eliminated mucoid plaque.
Thank you. I'm making enough green juice for you guys to drink. I need you to each drink a green juice today. And every day for that matter. Okay, so that's all of our cucumber, right? That's all of our cucumber juice. So what I do, here's my Vitamix, but I'm basically, hey Claudette, I'm basically going to take all this juice, and some people will strain it. I don't really care. So take that juice. Look how beautiful that is. That's beautiful. I love that. Oh, shucks. And now I'm going to move on to the next one. So apples, listen. I don't juice things unless I cut them. Okay? Because I've worked with produce for many years. I used to be on the farmers market team here in Santa Monica, and I just know that living beings love living things. So, I anticipate, especially if I have organically grown produce, I anticipate that living things will be occasionally present, right? I also cut things, so I'm cutting my green apples in thirds. I also anticipate like bruising and just things going bad, and I don't want to put that in my body, right? I enjoy this because it's meditative, and I'm just very conscious of what I put in my body. There's no preservatives, chemicals. I do wash the produce in a baking soda and warm water solution to rinse off the residue of the pesticides. You can do that. See, look, that one is starting to go bad in the middle. You see that? It's starting to go bad in the middle. So, we're not eating that. We're not juicing that, right? But if you were to just throw stuff in the juicer, you would never know, right? So I'm very intentional about I'm becoming more and more intentional about what I put in my body, and I'm committed to it because I feel so good. You know, my thoughts are clearer. I'm able to, hey Claudette, I feel like you leaving and going. What's up? Hey Nicole, Sherman, hey Rebecca, Grace, Ratcliffe. Thank you for joining my live. I hope this inspires y'all to also juice. That's why I'm doing this, y'all. I know a lot of people are sick. A lot of people have all kinds of stuff. Autoimmune issues, anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, diabetic, pre-diabetic, hormonal issues. And the people that I know who are the healthiest and have longevity, meaning they're older, they consume lots of living plants. And listen, you gotta follow. I mean, if you're wise, hey, I like that. I like how many people are in the live today. Like the live, like the live, like the live. If you're in here, like the live. Let's see if we can get to 100. We've been at 56 for a minute. Like the live, like the live. All right, so my limes, I love, like, I'm on limes right now. Thank you, like the live. Let's bring me, get it to it. Ow, y'all did that. Y'all got us to 100 real quick. So when I juice my limes, I just put the whole thing in. And it does make the flavor of the juice kind of intense. Ooh, thank you, Goat Money, liking the live. It makes the flavor of the juice intense, but I like it like that. I actually like it like that. Because when you make certain foods and you put lime zest or lemon zest, it intensifies the flavor, right? So this is a ton of zest. I was going to say a joke, but I'm not. Okay, so that's why I don't mind. And this juice usually has ginger, parsley, cilantro. I just don't have time to do that today. And I kind of want a different flavor today. So I just did cucumbers, celery, green apples, limes. Right? Keep it simple. Alright, so while these are there, I'm going to wash these dishes. And I'm going to listen to Victoria Everest talk to us about, hey y'all, thank you for being here. Thank you. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
But by the day 21, he couldn't walk 1 meter. You know, walking 1 meter was too difficult for him. He become very, very sick and very, very weak. It took him months to rebuild his body. Water fasting is recommended for people that have serious chronic diseases, illnesses, cancer, and so on. When it comes to juice fasting, it's completely different because we are now flooding the body with structured water, and we're allowing the structured water to now repair the cells and flush out the cells and toxins. So juice fasting is the way forward. Some people like to use herbal tinctures, herbal teas. I stopped drinking traditional water over 1.5 years ago now. I also don't drink tea, coffee, any hot drinks. There is some science around that, which I'll touch on in our later masterclass when we go into regeneration. But essentially, you want to be focusing on consuming structured water only during this program. For those of you who hit an emergency situation and you don't have your juice on you, you don't have a juice press bag, you can't get a hold of structured water, and you have to drink water, within the guide, the 21-day program guide, I specify the difference behind the different types of water and which water you should be drinking if you need to drink water throughout this process. So here's a quick snapshot of the Deep Detox Masterclass. It really is around ensuring that you get your mindset in a phase where you are focusing on eating foods to live. And when I say that, I mean that we are living people, so we should be having living food. Anything that is not alive, you know, that's been cooked, steamed, processed, in a carton, on a shelf, in a bag, it's dead food. It's dead. Even something as simple as, we've been trained to believe, to be healthy, to get a snack from the shop, we just go and buy some nuts. We buy those nuts, and that's in the modern day, most people think having a bag of nuts is healthy. It really isn't, because those nuts are covered in phytic acids, they're covered in enzyme inhibitors, and guess what? Our body can't even process or draw down on the benefits of those nuts. In order for us to be able to draw down on the benefits of proteins, the fats within those nuts, whether it's walnuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, whatever you're taking, you have to soak them. You have to rehydrate them. You have to turn them back into a living substance. The food, most of the food that we eat in today's society is dead. It's been cooked. Something as simple, I think I gave this example in our last masterclass, is if you take something as simple as a carrot and you freeze a carrot and you try and plant that carrot in the garden, it's not going to grow. Even freezing food kills your food. If your food is not raw and living and alive, it's not going to help you grow, So that's something to take into consideration when you're looking into your detox pathways. So making sure that you focus on living foods, making sure that you understand your detox pathways. Your detox pathways are your elimination organs. So your skin is your largest elimination organ. You've also got your lymphatic drainage, which we'll touch on later on. We will also be touching on herbs and tools and different binders that you can use. So this is a separate masterclass to today's call, which is a resource which you can go in, and whenever you have time, go in and listen. It was recorded probably maybe about 7 or 8 months ago with myself and another detox specialist, and we go into the depths. And these are the 4 pillars of what we cover in the Deep Detox Masterclass. We cover the castor oils, the enemas, the binders, and it's completely down to you how deep you want to take it when it comes to detoxing. The reason why we leave detoxing and elimination to this part of the program is that we really want to focus on finding our flow with the juicing. Finding our flow is the most important thing. Establishing a framework within our kitchen, getting used to the process of even getting in the kitchen, getting up and juicing, that is more important than going straight to what am I going to use, what pill can I take, what herb can I take, because that is not the solution. This is a way of life. This isn't a quick fix. There's no quick answers, there's no magic pill. This is a constant clearing. If it's taking you 20, 30, 40 years of drinking alcohol, eating processed food, eating out, eating cake, eating gluten, eating dairy, you're not going to get rid of that waste in 10 days. You're not going to get rid of it in 2 months. You're not going to get rid of it in 2 years. It's going to take you 3, 5, 10 years maybe to eliminate that waste. So get realistic with it. Like I said, my journey, when I show you the before and after, when I was extremely overweight, when I had diabetes and I was inflamed, to where I am today, it's taken me a good 10 years. And through my community, through my online platform, I show you everything in between. You can go through my page right to the bottom of my page and see everything that I've done between, the last 7 years in order to get to where I am today. And it is a constant cycle of cleaning. Not to say that you should always be on a detox, but make sure that you understand the detox cycles and how to naturally support the body to eliminate on a consistent basis. Detoxing and fasting, like I said previously, should be seen as a muscle. You wouldn't just go and jump into running a marathon without proper training. So see this opportunity as an opportunity, see this platform and this space as an opportunity to educate yourself so you can continue doing the work. And it will take you 6, 12, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, but we will be here to support you. The community will be here to support you. So eliminating parasites is one of the things that everybody wants to know, right? It's one of those things that's like, okay, how do I do it? What are some of the things? And I have brought along some of the tools that I personally use over the years. So the first one I would like to recommend is olive oil. And bearing in mind, everything that I'm recommending today is available on Amazon. There's no big brands. There's no, we are not about promoting anything branded. You can get access to these things easily online, right? So this is oregano oil. It's one of the strongest herbs I personally have in my medicine cupboard. I take it with me when I'm traveling. If I'm struggling, if anybody in my family's got a flu, a virus, anything, any inconsistency, I put a couple of drops of this. Now, in order for the oregano oil to be effective, you need a carrier oil. So I usually use oregano oil with black seed oil. These two work incredibly well together. This is a very, very, very potent herb. Please use very sparingly. If you feel like you do have indigestion, you're burping, the burp smells, you've got something, something going on with your gut, this is a very, very useful herb to have in your kitchen. Now, if like I've studied with Professor Reese, if you can't get hold of the living oregano oil, like in one of my recipes, I've included, oregano herbs. I would recommend in the first instance, juice the oregano and mix that in with coconut water. If you can't get hold of oregano leaf in its natural form, in its living form, then you can also take the oil. Again, very, very strong. Please take sparingly if you are going to introduce it, and make sure that you also combine it with something like aloe vera, because it's very strong. I haven't said that a couple of times now, so make sure that you're sealing up the gut and supporting the gut to seal. And again, when it comes to working with these herbs and these tinctures, please make sure that you are, again, I touch on this in the masterclass. I'm just giving you a high level overview just so you can get a feel for what's in the program. Make sure that you're taking them on a consistent basis, at least for a 21-day period. Taking a drop of these herbs on an odd occasion is not going to do anything for your system. Get real with it. 21 days alongside a juice fast. I say towards the end of the juice fast, as you're continuing to break your fast and having fruits and living food, this is a great time to start to introduce some of these tinctures. So here I've got the black wormwood, black walnut and wormwood, another effective one for parasite removal. You can see I've used this one quite a lot. We've got bitters and ginger. And again, I'll share a picture of some of the things that I personally got. These are not recommendations. These are things that I've personally used over the years that have helped me, that I think will be great for you guys as well. If you are looking to eliminate and you feel like you have got parasites. Another really good one to use is the bladderwrack root, effective for using against parasites as well. And then another question I'm asked a lot is around the mucoid plaque. Now, the mucoid plaque is something that exists in our intestines. Now, when you think of our intestines and our gut lining and the gut wall, our intestines wrap around like 3 double-decker buses. So just think about the length of your intestines. It's enormous, it's huge. So the food goes through your intestines, it comes through, and then you're eliminating waste on the other end. Now, when it comes to the mucoid plaque essentially is the tar that sits inside the intestines, inside the small intestines, and it's built up over the years. And it's a combination of starch, bread, fat, and it's thick. It's very, very thick. And those of you who have eliminated mucoid plaque, it's like something you've never seen before, completely alien. And most of us who've never done a cleanse before will have mucoid plaque. Now, how and when you release the mucoid plaque, it will differ from person to person. So don't go chasing it, right? But the first step before even considering, looking at how to remove the mucoid plaque is to make sure that you fast. And I have touched on this. So a minimum of 21 days on fresh juices, on softening the colon, making sure that the colon is really softened. Now, when you get to, I recommend at least a 21-day period, I say you can now introduce binders. Now, there's 3 different binders that I talk about in my program. Again, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of what these binders are, because a lot of people just don't know. It's the first time being introduced to these kind of things. So there's 3 binders that I recommend, and these binders essentially will support the mucoid plaque to detach from your intestines. So the first one here is bentonite clay, again available on Amazon. Bentonite clay is a finely milled clay. So I don't know if any of you have had a clay face mask, you've gone away on holiday, they've done a clay mud bath for you, and essentially the purpose of the clay, when you put a clay over your face or your body, or you're having a clay bath, is it's designed to draw out the impurities out of your skin. So our skin is our largest elimination organ. It is an organ. So when you take the bentonite clay, literally a teaspoon with some coconut water in the morning or the afternoon. If you haven't got coconut water, you can have it with cucumber water. Again, I would say take it for at least a 7-day period alongside juice fasting. Don't take bentonite clay or any of the binders if you're eating food. If you've got back into eating food, it's not recommended, because you're giving your body a much harder job. So the bentonite clay, when it goes into your system, it does the same thing. It literally starts to draw down, and it's almost like a suction for the impurities. It allows the mucoid plaque to really start detaching from the intestinal walls. Another really good one I've talked about over the years is zeolite powder. Again, zeolite powder is a micronized powder. It's similar to the clay, but it comes from the volcanoes. It's a natural volcanic mineral. Again, when I'm using a binder for any of my clients or for myself, I'm using bentonite clay and zeolite powder together as a combination, and I'm taking it in the morning and I'm taking it in the evening. I'm taking it over a 7-day period, and I'm taking it with my juices. Again, all of this information will be in your detox guide. You don't have to, you can write some of this information down, you can ask questions for sure, but these are the 2 key ones that I would recommend. And the third one is the psyllium husk. Psyllium husk is available in every Indian and African store. Our ancestors knew that this one was the one. And again, it's a great binder to support with the elimination of mucoid plaque in the gut. The one thing that I wanted to touch on while we're talking about the gut is, quite interestingly enough, I did talk about it on my stories today if anybody was watching, is David Attenborough. He turned 99 a couple of days ago. Incredible man, and he has dedicated his whole life to sharing the beauty of nature, sharing the beauty of our world. And for his 99th birthday, he released a documentary. I went to the cinema and went to go and watch it. It's called Oceans. It's all about our oceans and our water and the damage that's being done to them. And you're thinking to yourself, like, how does this relate to detoxing? I'm going to get there. In this documentary, he touches on the ecosystems within the water, so the coral reefs. Within the coral reefs exist the sea moss and the kelps and all these other sea animals, and it's incredible. But unfortunately, because of global warming and industrialized fishing, there's a lot of damage that's being done to the ocean floor, which is completely eroding away this really beautiful ecosystem. Now, when you look at this world and how the world has been structured by God, the world is 70% water. We as human beings are 70% water. We are no different to the world around us. Unfortunately, because of the way that we've been programmed, we think we're something completely different. We're different from the trees and the nature and the sea and the ocean. No, we're not. We're actually the same. So the example that he gave in this documentary, which I thought was really, really beautiful, was in these areas where the coral reef had been completely ripped apart and taken down. You could see it's had a devastating effect on the ocean floor. And actually, I cried. I was just like completely blown away by the fact that not enough has been done to protect the oceans and the water. But in that documentary, he was able to document how the ocean was able to regenerate itself. Not back to where its previous version was, but tenfold before before what it was before it was deconstructed. And I'm saying that because Our gut works in the same way, and how that the ocean floors were able to regenerate was that they just left it alone. When you leave your gut alone, when you leave your body alone, when you stop putting in the problem, when you stop consuming food, your body has an innate ability to heal itself. The same way the ocean has an innate ability to heal itself. Not only does it heal itself, the healing goes beyond, tenfold beyond what it was in the first place. So that goes to show, that healing is possible, but we have to give our bodies a chance to heal. We have to give it the space to heal. There is no quick fix, there's no quick medicine. It takes time, and it is a process, and that process needs to be honored, and through that process you need to give yourself grace. It's not something that can be rushed. There's no, like I said, there's no quick fix. There's things that can help support your detoxification and elimination. A lot of people have asked me around, colonic irrigations, using things like hydrotherapy. These are tools where you insert water and you kind of, soften the stool, naturally using, something that's inserted through the anus. My thing is, you don't need to put something up your anus to get stuff out. If you give yourself a chance to let your body naturally eliminate, you'll see the stuff naturally starting to eliminate. So don't go putting yourself into difficult situations. I find those things very invasive. They're very extreme. You don't need to be going to no colonic irrigation.
So I cut this watermelon from the Rainbow Acres, and it had like a kind of gash in it, so it's a little mushy. But you know what? It's mushy, and that's fine because I can juice it. We have this other, these other watermelons that we can eat because I got them from the Watermelon Man. So these two on the floor, I got them from the Watermelon Man.
So can I cut it there?
Yeah. So you can cut one of those. I'm gonna juice this one, and watermelon, lime juice, and ginger. That's so fucking good. Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I gotta get out of here. Yeah. So, all right. That's what I'm gonna do. So actually, I'm gonna juice these, and I'm gonna cut one of those in half so I can scoop out whole pieces so I can eat, and then I gotta go.
First thing you need to do is get with the foundation of your kitchen. Get rid of the stuff that's in your kitchen that's causing the problem in the first place. Step number one. Step number two, start incorporating more living foods into your diet. If you can't get with the living foods, start with the juicing. Go with the natural way first before going into anything extreme like invasive, like colonic irrigations and hydrotherapy. We touch on it in our masterclass for sure, for those people that want to, venture into those spaces. But the teaching that I've been taught by, by some of these elders, it's not necessary at all. We can move on to the next slide. So, parasites. They are not only linked to cancer and, other illnesses in the body, but they're also linked to mental health disorders as well. When you do have parasites, you can be experiencing things like brain fog, inflammation in the body. Parasites can live anywhere in the body, and one thing that we've done in our parasite guides, which will be released today within the community, is show you what you should be looking for. Now, I know this is going to be quite crud, but you really need, if you are on this journey and you're serious about elimination, you're serious about detoxing, you need to get intimate with your shit. That's the bottom line of it. You need to see what's coming out. You need to get intimate with it. You need to see what's coming out. You need to examine it. No one else is going to do that for you apart from you. The traditional way of testing